Welcome to Rise from the Ashes. Our podcast looks at various issues for families. We'll be talking with attorneys about personal and legal concerns having to do with divorce, custody, and parenting time. There are also a few topics about letting go, moving on, and new beginnings. Please keep in mind this podcast is only to inform and help to understand legal and personal issues as they relate to family law. It should not be considered as a replacement for a qualified family law attorney. When in doubt, please contact a professional. Rise from the Ashes, focusing on matters of the family, because family matters. Hi, and welcome to our podcast, Rise from the Ashes. I'm David Braddock, and I'm your host for the program, and we're talking today with Susan Mundahl of Mundahl Law. Susan, we recently did a podcast regarding children of divorce, and I understand you would like to address the other side of the coin because you are a child of divorce as well as a divorced parent yourself. So this would be a podcast to address parents involved in or having been divorced.
That's right, David. This is really important information, and I think it needs to be said because I see the results of people's pain in going through divorce every single day, and I think they forget that they have children. I just wanted to give you some wisdom that I gleaned from my 29 years as an attorney and also as a child of two parents who were very dysfunctional and having to spend 40 years dealing with the parents who kept that divorce front and center in every social contact we had with them. Finally, being able to come to a healing space after the death of both parents 4 years ago.
It seems like parents have a tendency to look at things primarily from their own point of view without really considering the children's feelings that much at all.
The interesting thing is, it's the reptile brain that we have, the amygdala. When it's in flight or fight, then it can only think about survival. And unfortunately, a lot of people going through divorce, that's exactly where they're at. They're unable, they are not in a position to be able to think of anyone's needs but their own. And unfortunately, their children are there, and they are other real human beings who are hurting just as much.
If they would only think about the experiences that a child has when they're growing up, everything becomes significant. So when these troubled times are happening, maybe they would be a little more sensitive to what that child is experiencing.
Here's my advice. Parents, if you're going through a divorce, get a good counselor, therapist, or life coach. Someone that you pay to hear your issues. That is where you can emote. That is where you can put all your pain and anger and frustration and sorrow.
What about family or friends? Can't they help by listening and sharing some of their ideas and insights?
Wouldn't that be nice? But no, I don't recommend that you go with family or friends. In fact, I routinely tell my clients, your family and friends outgrow the desire to hear about your divorce long before you outgrow your need to talk about it. With family and friends, the majority of them are not licensed professionals who know exactly what the grief cycle is or how to help move someone through the grief cycle into peace of mind or serenity. So many people say they can't afford a therapist or they can't afford a counselor. That is the best money you can spend because what is your well-being worth to you? There's new studies showing that adverse childhood experiences continue to create health problems in your life. If you go unchecked and don't deal with your divorce issues, it's going to show up as diabetes, heart disease, any number of other things. Whereas if you get some good therapy and really work through your stages of grief and be willing to move into a new you, then it's going to be worth every penny you spend.
What about the kids?
The answer is, don't expect your children to side with you. They shouldn't have to decide. They came into this world with a desire and a need to be loved by both parents. Simply because you feel betrayed or hurt by your spouse does not give you the right to insist on their loyalty to your feelings. That is the part of you being an adult. You need to seek out professionals to assist you through your pain. That is not your children's job. And on that same note, don't ever punish them for wanting to love both of you. That is so unfair to your children.
How do you know if your children are hurting?
These are the signs you look for. Are your children withdrawing? Are they wanting to just spend more time in their rooms, not wanting to talk to either of you, maybe not eating? Are they acting out? Are they getting in trouble at school more often? Are they committing crimes like stealing, underage drinking, smoking, those kind of things? Are they taking on your pain, thinking that it will make things better for you? If you're not sure, if you think they might be doing that, you need to encourage them to be children. What I said to my kids is, we're dealing with some really important adult issues, and I want you to know that I want you to be the best you can be. It is not your problem, and it's not your issues. We both love you very much, and we want to keep your life as normal as possible. Words to those effect are really going to help you go a long way in relieving your children's pain. The way I see it in my daily practice is I see so many parents that not only do they want their children to be loyal to them, but they deliberately deny the other parent parenting time. They try and shorten the amount of time. They sabotage the relationship. I've seen parents who the child will be at dad's house and mom will be calling all the time and wanting to text and those kind of things, interfering with that time that is set aside for dad and the child. Children need both parents. You can harm your children completely, but this is what I want you to know. If you do this, your children will one day grow up and they will want nothing more to do with you. If you're the one who's a problem in the special moments of their life, they will ask you not to be present. And do you want that as your legacy for your children? You may feel some pleasure in the moment because you're hurting that other spouse, but in the long run, the ones you're hurting are your children. They may be unable to form loving relationships as adults or be able to get into intimate relationships because of what they have seen as the result of your divorce. If you're listening to this, then I think you're probably someone that doesn't want that for your children. So what I encourage you to do is take a higher path in your divorce. Even though you have been hurt and you have been betrayed, you get that good counselor, and that's where you talk about those feelings, not with your children. And then at some point, you will find it easier to breathe as you start your new life. What I have heard is the best revenge is a well-lived life. And as you move forward into a better life, there may be a new relationship that's going to be more healing for you. And that's what you can open yourself up to by allowing your hurt to go away, by dealing with it. It's not by denying it. So that's what I want for you. I want you to move forward in love and forgiveness. But just remember that if you don't move forward, the ones who are really going to be hurt are your kids. In the end, it's up to you.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank you, David.
You are listening to Rise from the Ashes, the podcast channel that takes a careful look at all things having to do with legal procedure within the family law process. Rise from the Ashes is sponsored by Mundall Law, who specializes in assisting families and individuals through the legal process with respect, dignity, and caring. Mundall Law is dedicated to helping people to solve their legal problems. You can visit the Mundall Law website at mundalllaw.com or call to schedule a consultation with one of their qualified family law attorneys. Rise from the Ashes, focusing on matters of the family, because family matters.